Good. So welcome if you've just joined us. We're going to take it easy today. It is the nurturing class after all. So if you've got a block, grab your block and pop it underneath the sacrum. And we'll lay down onto our backs. Have your feet wide and your knees pressing together. And then you can rest your hands on your belly. That's always a nice place just to start to make that connection, mind and breath all together. Now let your eyes close, let your face relax. It's easy to get caught up in a crazy rhythm of your day. And trying to keep up with that crazy rhythm that you've created can be quite hard. So let's use this 45 minutes to take a pause, to stop for a moment, to check in with your bodies and your minds. Start to put everything into perspective and into the right priorities. I've been thinking of the breathing like a lullaby for your body these last few classes. So see if you can create your own lullaby, so your own steady rhythm with the breath. In that steady rhythm, allowing all your muscles, your cells, your ligaments, your thoughts to just melt. As things start to ramp up and we get busy again, it's easy to forget that your jaw is clenching. So can you relax your jaw, it's almost like relaxing your teeth. And once you relax your jaw, that will instantly allow your psoas to relax. That muscle from your lumbar spine down into your hips that also holds on to a lot of tension when you're stressed. When that's tight, that might start to pull on your back. And then before you know it, you're feeling tight all over your whole body. Zone into the air, moving in through your nose and out through your nose. Let the lullaby of your breathing find those areas of tightness, of tension. And allow it all to melt away. You can notice the shape of the spine with the sacrum on the block. And imagine each of the vertebrae enjoying that space that you've created, a little bit of decompressing of the spine. If the block feels uncomfortable at all, you can always just take it away. Keeping that breath flowing, keeping that lullaby with your breath. Start to lift your knees away from each other and step your feet a little bit closer together. You can rest your hands down by your side now and your palms faced up. And bring your right knee into your chest. Making yourself comfortable there, try and let go of any muscles and just let that right leg fall in towards your chest. So it might feel like it's a little bit restricted at a certain point. But retune into the right hip and try and relax all the muscles. Let your right foot be floppy, let everything just pause here. If you lost your breathing, then you can focus on that. Long breaths in and out through your nose. Encouraging your leg to relax in this shape. You don't have to have your eyes open. Just let your eyes close. And let all your awareness, all your energy, all your consciousness drop into the right hip. Relaxing that very special psoas muscle. You're going to cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh, and then just let the knee fall over, or fall out. So sometimes it helps just to walk your left foot a little bit closer towards the right side, and then you should be able to just let the right leg hang there. Let all the muscles in the legs relax. Now just let the weight of the knee gently open up the right hip. So we're not really pushing or forcing. You're just letting the hip have some space. If the block is becoming uncomfortable, you can always move it. Again, letting your breath flow in and out through the nose. So if you get distracted, bring it back to your breathing. And let all the muscles relax in your right leg, in your right hip. And as you relax the psoas muscle, can you relax your jaw? Can you stop clenching your teeth? Can you release the frown in the center of your forehead? So that everything in your body represents a peaceful, restful person. Even if there's 1,000 things going on in your thoughts or in your day, in this moment, we've paused, we've pressed the pause button. So you can just relax. We're bringing the right knee back into the chest. And then extending the right leg to the right hand corner of the mat. And then just let the toes turn out to the right. So now bring your awareness to the right hip bones, pointing upwards towards the sky, but get a feeling of the right hip bone boring sideways. So if you can visualize that psoas muscle attached from the lumbar spine, the lower back, and it's wrapping in front of your hip bone and attaching to the top of your leg. And with the toes falling outwards, just encouraging the right hip bone to open outwards. Yeah, so it's not a big, deep stretch for the actual hip joint, but definitely for the psoas muscle. So if you have got hip issues, this should be fine. Again, if you feel or search for places where it's tight, where you're holding on to muscles, just try and let it go. Tension might have built up in your right shoulder blade for some reason. And let your whole body represent that calm, peaceful person. The breath being that constant lullaby into a relaxed place. And again, if that block becomes uncomfortable, then you can always move it. This position might seem small to you, but there's so much going on right here. Starting to bend the knee with the knee still falling out to the side. So it's like you're dragging the right heel towards the bottom, and just feeling the knee outwards towards the side. And then we'll scoot the right knee back into the chest. Okay guys, so we'll lower the right foot back down onto the mat. And then changing sides. So bringing your left thigh into your chest. And relaxing your face, relaxing the leg. Try and find that place where you can be here just without holding onto any muscles. And that's hard enough in itself. Once you find that place, relaxing your jaw, letting the weight of the left leg sit into the hip. Breath flowing in and out through your nose, jaw relaxed, face relaxed. And breath taking you on that journey of discovery. Almost like you're walking through the inner landscape of your body. What do you see as you walk through that inner landscape? And the breath being the soundtrack to your journey through your body. Might be harder to let go of the muscles in this left side. Might feel a little bit awkward. So try and breathe and relax. Then we can cross the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. And again, it might be helpful just to walk your right foot over to the left side a little bit. And then let go of any muscles in that left knee or in that left leg and that left hip. Again, it's not a massive stretch here. You're just using gravity, using your breath. And you're just finding a little bit of space within that hip joint. We're not using any force. We're just going to where it feels okay. So it might feel like you're not doing anything, but it's a lovely way just to get into that psoas muscle, to relax your hip, to notice where else there's tension in your body. So I just let go of the whole string of muscles in my back there. Like you're melting into your mattress on your bed. If you can make every part of your body feel and look like a relaxed and peaceful person, the thoughts will start to follow suit. So that you will not only look peaceful and relaxed, but you will actually be peaceful and relaxed. Breath flowing in and out through your nose. So now carefully from there, bringing the left knee back up and then extending the left leg to the left hand corner of the mat. Let your toes just fall out to the side. Okay, make yourself comfy. So if you can visualize again the skeleton and how it must look with you lying here. And then from the skeleton, add in the psoas muscle, so attached from the lower back, across the front of that plate-like bone, the hip, and then attaching to the front of the leg. And with the weight of the toes falling to the left, just feeling the left hip bone melt open. That psoas muscle getting that lovely stretch. There's nothing hardcore going on. Just relaxing into this pose. And if you feel like the block is not helping you, then you can always take it away. Has your jaw tightened up? Has your frown returned? Is the breath still flowing? You still got the pause button pressed. You know, if you need to come in and out of anything, then you can. Really think of this class as settling in 45 minutes. Pressing stop on the treadmill and really looking after yourself. And it's time to bend the left knee as you drag your left heel into your bottom, the knee staying open if you can. And then bringing that left thigh back into your chest. Placing your left foot back down onto the mat. Have your feet just a nice space apart from each other, toes facing forwards, big breath in. As you breathe out, start to tuck your tail under, push through your feet and then lift the hips up to the sky. Okay, so coming off the block, just take it to one side and then start to lower the spine down nice and slowly. You feel each of the vertebrae touch the floor as you lower down. Now walk your feet as wide as the mat and let the right knee fall into the center. And then the left knee falls into the center. Okay, and just let that happen, rocking from side to side. And then bringing the knees back up, walk your feet a little bit closer together again and hug your knees into your chest. Yeah, so you're going to wrap your arms over the tops of your knees. Interlace the fingers and squeeze the thighs back into the rib cage and into the chest. And we can have a little rock from side to side to see if that feels okay for you. You can always take the hands behind your thighs if that feels too much. And we'll bring both knees together and then just let both knees fall to the right side. Okay, and we're going to put the right hand on the outside of your left leg. Look to your left hand. Take that big breath in, belly, body expands. Long breath out as you draw your belly button back towards the spine. And again, breathing in, If you feel like this is too deep, take your block underneath the right thigh. And then breathe out, belly drawing back. How much of your left shoulder blade can you feel on the floor there? Bringing the knees back into the center. Then we'll let both knees fall to the other side. So if you need to adjust the hips a little bit, moving them over to the right, you can. And then let both knees fall to the left. Okay, so now left hand on the outside of your right leg. To make it deeper, you can look to your right hand. Breathing in, belly, body expands. Breathing out, trying to feel more of the right shoulder blade on the floor. Settling into this twist. You can imagine both hip bones stacked on top of each other. And the spine twisting from the belly button and above. Releasing the left hand, bring your knees back into the center and then place both feet back down onto the mat. So if you are okay with the block, you're going to use that again. Big breath in. And as you breathe out, push your feet and lift the hips up, and we're going to slide the block underneath the sacrum, the higher edge. Okay, so and if you're using a pillow or a book, then maybe you could stack a couple of books underneath you. If you're all right like this, then maybe this is good. And you can let your hands rest down by your side again. And feel the upper back pressing into the floor and the back of the head. Relax your jaw, your eyebrows, your center of the forehead. Feel the weight now of the sacrum pushing into the block, the hip bones pointing upwards, and energy traveling down your spine into your chest, your throat, your head. If you want to relax completely, you can step your feet a little bit further out and let your knees press together. And you can always just have the block on its lower edge. Now as you breathe in, feel the air move in through your nose, and then it traces your spine all the way to the tailbone. And as you breathe out through your nose, it comes back up through the spine, into your head, and out through the nose. Again, really using the breath to trace the inner landscape of your spine, of your body. Or if that doesn't make any sense, then just breathing. Notice if the pause button has come unstuck. Press it down again. This moment to step off the train, and you can visually imagine yourself doing that, jumping off the train. If all feels okay with your back, step your feet together and then towards each other, and slide your right leg out straight. Let those toes fall out to the side. So again, it's that feeling of the right hip bone melting outwards. If it does aggravate your spine at all, then you can turn the block back onto its other edge, or maybe even flatten to the floor. Spend a few moments here, letting the weight of the feet draw the hip bone open, spine decompressed, sacrum supported by your block. Try not to let the back of your left hip bone come off the block. Relaxing your jaw, relaxing your shoulders. And bringing the right foot back in flat onto the floor. And then extending the left leg out to the left-hand corner of the mat and letting the left toes turn outwards. Breathing in and out through your nose. Listening to whatever's happening in your body. And responding. So if you feel something's not right, responding, not ignoring. One more breath. And bending the left knee, placing the foot back flat onto the floor, lifting the hips up to the sky and then sliding the block away and starting to lower the spine back down, vertebra by vertebra. Good. Again, stepping your feet as wide as your mat. Windscreen wiper the legs, one knee falls in, other knee falls in. Releasing any tightness that built up. Counterposing that stretch. Walk your feet back in together. Lift the hips up to the sky and block on its flat edge now. Sit in the sacrum on the block, not the spine. Okay, bring your knees into your chest. And then maybe you can wrap your arms over your shins, squeezing the thighs nice and close in. So now you've got the hips slightly elevated and you can feel maybe a little bit more weight in your shoulders and in your spine. Relax your hips. Breathe in and out through your nose. Trying to relax your lower back, relax your hips, relax your face. If it's too deep, hands behind the thighs, take away the weight of your arms. And then we'll slide the feet. So both feet now to the corners of the mat, letting your toes fall outwards. Arms up and over your head. Hopefully that feels all right with shoulders. Feel the backs of the hands on the floor. You might, like I do, I need to adjust my block so it's further down to the sacrum here. And then relaxing into the shape, toes turning outwards, hip bones melting outwards, belly floating up and down as you breathe. Could you draw your shoulder blades a little bit further down the back? Maybe let the head move from side to side. If this is too much for your arms, then just let your blocks, maybe put blocks underneath your arms. And if it's still too much, just rest your hands down by your sides. But relaxing that jaw again, relaxing the face. Feeling the space in between the hip bones and filling it up with your breath. So breathing in, belly expanding into that space. And breathing out, belly drawing back. Close your eyes. Press the pause button. Let the breath relax you. One more breath here. Taking your time, start to bring your toes back up towards the sky. Feel those thighs rotate inwards and step the feet back in towards your bum. Lifting the hips up, just nice and easy, bringing your arms down, and then taking that block away again. Lower the spine down, nice and slowly. Bring your knees into your chest, and then just roll over onto the right hand side. Take a little moment here. You've been lying down a long time. And then use your hands to make your way up to seated. And we come into a child's pose. Okay, so taking the shins down onto the mat, feet flat, relax the hips into the heels and walk your hands out in front, relax the forehead down into the floor. And you can just let the head move from side to side. If you don't want to go down too deep here, you can always have your hips lifted a little bit. But now let gravity draw you down the other way. So feel all the weight pouring like a waterfall onto your spine, into your hips, into your feet, your knees, your back. And as you breathe in, now the belly expands into your thighs. You get that stretch in your back. Walking your way back up. Coming up to seated on your heels just for a moment. See how this feels now if you've got your block or a pillow. Slot the block underneath your thighs so you won't go down so low now. Lower the tummy over the block and you can come onto your forearms here. So now this is hopefully getting a little bit more into your back. Yeah, so not so much in your hips. Okay, if the block isn't comfortable, just come into normal child's pose. Yeah, if it does feel okay to be here, then you can extend your arms out in front and the forehead won't touch the floor. So you could use a block, another block to rest the forehead on. So you don't have to, you can just let the head hang heavy. Try and relax. And if anything isn't feeling right, then change this. Yeah? Move the block. Maybe have more of a puppy pose rather than a child's pose. See what's suiting you today. But for me, with the block here, it gives me that extra stretch in my back. One more breath. Excellent. Very slowly start to lift your head and come up onto your hands. We're going to take the block away again. Just take the other block away and then press the palms flat onto the floor into your cat-cow. And we'll take a few cat-cows, so letting your belly drop, lifting the head and chest up. And as you exhale, tucking your tail, rounding your back, pushing through your hands. Now spread your shoulders, yeah? Again, inhale, letting the belly drop, drawing the head and chest forwards. And then exhale, rounding your back. Spread your shoulder blades. Yeah, find that space there. Okay, just 2 more times. You can go in your own time. You can keep your eyes closed so you're really using the felt sense rather than your sight. Last one. Pushing away, rounding into your back. Come back to neutral. Now start to draw big circles with your shoulders. So if you have been a little bit tense these last few days, maybe this is going to help relax that. And then take the circle the other way. Our response to stress is to tighten up in preparation, ready for whatever's coming. So now, in this moment, we're trying to relax that. Try taking the circle the other way again. Yeah, so if you have tightened up, tensing your body to absorb the stress, then now we can let it go. And then from here, just come walk your hands to the corners of the mat. You might want to let the chest fall towards the floor. You might want to maybe bring it in a little bit closer. Yeah. Just see what's possible. Chin can rest on the floor. You could rest your chest on a block if you like. But it is a big stretch on the shoulders, so the armpits are getting that extra stretch there. If it's too deep, come onto your forearms. Breathing in and out through your nose, relaxing into this space. The wider the hands, the less intense this is. Closer the hands are together, the deeper this is. Start to walk your hands back towards your knees. That's it, and do the opposite of that now. So you're pushing the mat away and rounding into your back, chin to chest. And coming back to neutral. Guys, we're going to sit down, tuck the toes under. It's nice. If you have got a block, catch hold of it. And it's one of my favorites at the moment. So if you sit onto your block, that's it. And it's so nice on your toes. Gives you a bit of space in your knees. You can relax your hands on your thighs and let your eyes close. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Hopefully that feels good. So maybe you can be there for one more breath, making sure those pinky toes are forwards as well. Mine tend to get lost. One more breath. Cool, release. So take the block away. And we're going to come down onto our bottoms just to get into the hamstrings now before we finish. Don't know where the time went. So we're going to bend your right leg, bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. Now, if that's too much on your hip, pop the block underneath your right knee there, yeah? You can place another block if you've got one, or a pillow, or not have anything at all. That's all fine. Inhale, lift yourself up, and then exhale and fold over the block. Yeah, now if the block isn't helpful, you're going to take it away. If you need the block for your right knee, so that right hip isn't going so deep, then use it for there. But where you're using whatever tools you've got around you to help you. And this is all about the hamstring and the back. Yeah, so not worried about getting into that right hip. Breathing in, draw the chest forwards. And then breathing out and folding forwards. And if you have got the block there, take it away. Lift your chest up and then exhale and fold forward. See if you can get a little bit deeper into it now. Well done. Start to bring yourself back up. Okay, we can bring that right knee in. Extend the leg out in front. Same thing on the other side now. So bending the left leg, sole of the left foot, inner right thigh. I'm not interested in getting deep into this left hip here, so that's fine to have the block there if you need it. Or you can have your block on your thigh here, help you get a bit more into this hamstring. Inhale, lift yourself up. And exhale, fold over the block. Yeah, so thinking about the hamstring and your back. Block can be underneath the left knee. Then use a pillow for your right thigh if you wanted to. Or nothing at all, yeah, without the block. And then closing your eyes, listening to your body. Breathing in and breathing out. So you've got the block there, taking it away. And then inhale, drawing the chest forwards. Exhale and folding forwards. Think about your hamstring. How is that feeling? Not worrying about the left hip, yeah, keeping that left knee lifted if you need to. One more breath. Very carefully start to bring yourself right back up. Awesome, guys. And we'll take both legs out in front. Give them a shake. Fingertips on the floor. Push yourself up tall. You can use the block if you like. If you've had enough of the block, don't worry. And then lower yourself over your legs. Breathing in, drawing the chest forwards. Breathing out and folding forwards. That's it. Good. And if you've got the block there, taking it away and seeing if that's helped you get a little bit deeper. Start to bring yourself back up. And without further ado, bending the knees, feet flat, push your hips to your heels. If you have got a block or a pillow, bring it with you. Okay, lower down and rest the head on the block. So the block is flat on the floor, and this can be a pillow or the block, but make sure now that the block isn't on the neck, so it's on that knobbly bit in the back of the head. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and have your palms faced up. So now I like to have the feet wide and the knees pressed together. If you feel better with the legs out in front, then do that. You might have something handy you could just put over your eyes if you need it. Relax your face, relax your jaw. Think back to the very beginning of the class and that connection between your jaw and your psoas muscle, attached from the lumbar spine to the front of your leg. If that muscle gets tight, it starts to pull on your back. When your back gets tight, your neck gets tight, your shoulders get tight. It's like when you pull a thread on a jumper and everything starts to get tight. Same thing with your muscles and injuries. So whatever you're looking after, it's important to be mindful of the rest of the body, mindful of compensating. Making sure that everywhere gets some attention. And that you have moments in the day where you're not holding on to muscles, not holding on to thoughts. Just being peaceful on the outside and then that transferring to the inside. Let yourself be peaceful for this moment. Breath is there to be your guide if you need it. And hopefully you can just allow yourself to sink into that comfortable mattress. Thoughts floating away. If you're comfortable there at home and you can stay here for as long as you like and ignore me. If you need to move and carry on with your day, start to breathe a little bit deeper. Maybe you could walk your feet away from each other and then extend the legs out in front. Taking the block away, maybe reaching your arms above the head, doing that lovely full body stretch. Rolling into the right hand side. Yeah, so taking that little bit of time because you have been lying down a long time. And keeping your eyes closed as you come up to seated to face the front or face me. Hands to the heart center, pushing your thumbs into your chest bone. Gratitude to yourselves for getting here today. Taking time to look after your body and your mind. Big breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. Namaste. I hope that was what you needed today. I hope you feel better for it. Thank you, Richard. I like the thumbs up. Have a beautiful rest of the day, guys.